I don't even know where to begin without feeling my chest tighten. This isn't a story I ever wanted to live, let alone tell. But sometimes sharing the truth lifts a weight from your shoulders. And maybe, just maybe, someone listening right now is going through the same thing. So I want to be honest, from start to finish. I have always been very close to my sister. We didn't have many friends, but we had each other. In our childhood, we shared a room, our secrets, our dreams. She was my confidant, my other half, my mirror. I never imagined that the person who resembled me the most could also be the one to break me the deepest. When I met the man I'm about to tell you about, I was happier than I had been in years. His name was Mark. He wasn't perfect, but there was a kindness in his voice, a way he looked at me that made me feel seen, chosen, loved. I had been through a rough patch, and Mark felt like a light guiding me back to myself. I remember the first day I introduced him to my sister. She smiled, a big, bright smile. At that moment, I thought she was genuinely happy for me. I believed that nothing, absolutely nothing, could change our bond. I was wrong. At first, everything seemed normal. She spoke to him like any sister would, friendly and warm. Sometimes they laughed together, joked. I found it cute. I thought it was a good sign that Mark felt comfortable with my family. I wasn't worried. I felt relieved. But over time, little things started to unsettle me. Tiny details, nothing glaring, nothing that could prove anything, just small moments where I felt out of place in my own conversations. Sometimes I'd catch them laughing together, and when I entered the room, silence fell like a heavy curtain. I told myself I was imagining things, that it was normal, that I was overreacting, so I stayed quiet. I don't know exactly when things started to go wrong, but I remember the moment I realized something was truly off. It was one evening when Mark came over. He seemed distant, unlike himself. I knew him well enough to see the tension behind his eyes, a fatigue he had never shown me before. I asked him what was wrong, and he simply said, "Nothing, I'm just tired." But I knew it wasn't true. A few days later, my sister began to change too. She was nervous, irritable, always on her phone. Whenever I entered a room, she would put it down quickly, hiding it, as if she had something to keep secret. Again, I said nothing. I didn't want to believe that my sister, my own sister, could be involved. I refused to allow myself to think it. Then one morning, everything changed. I will never forget that moment. It was a Sunday. My sister had left her phone on the living room table. It kept buzzing. I had no intention of looking at it. I'm not that kind of person. But the screen lit up and I saw a name, Mark's name, a preview of a message, one line. One single line that made my chest tighten so much I felt like I couldn't breathe. "I'm still thinking about you. Last night was special." I remember the cold that spread through me. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding like it would burst. I froze, unable to move. I didn't want to believe what I had just read. I hoped it was a mistake, a wrong message, a joke, anything but the truth I had feared for weeks. When my sister walked into the living room, she saw me holding her phone. Our eyes met, and instantly I knew. She didn't even try to act surprised. She didn't deny it. Her face froze. Then she just looked down. That silence hurt more than yelling ever could. I asked, "When?" My voice was calm, too calm. She said softly, "I'm sorry." I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't insult her. I just stood there, staring at the person I trusted most, the person I loved more than anything, the person I would have done anything for. And she had taken the one thing I cherished most. Later, I confronted Mark. He didn't even try to lie. He told me it started accidentally, through long talks, through comfort he gave him when he felt lost. He said he hadn't planned it, but deep down, what did that change? He had crossed the line. They both had crossed the line. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal itself, no. The hardest part was realizing I hadn't seen it coming. that I had trusted blindly, that I had allowed two people to occupy my heart when their loyalty wasn't the same as mine. After that, I stopped everything. Mark and I were over. My relationship with my sister was never the same. For months, I barely spoke to her. I couldn't even look at her. Every time I thought of her, I felt a mix of hurt, anger, and emptiness. But time has a way of working on pain. Slowly, I realized something important. What someone can take from you might not have been meant for you. Sometimes God removes people from your life to protect you from what you cannot see. And today, I'm no longer with Mark. And honestly, I wouldn't even want to be. I have healed, slowly. As for my sister, our relationship is not what it was, but I have chosen to forgive. Not for her sake, for mine. Forgiveness frees, it doesn't justify. I have learned that true betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from those you love most. But I've also learned that I am stronger than I ever thought I was. Losing certain people sometimes means finding yourself. And if you are going through something similar, I want you to remember one thing. People can betray you, bonds can break, but your worth does not depend on anyone else. You are worthy of loyal, sincere, deep love. And one day, that love will find you.